So at number 10 we have Zephyr. Zephyr is really cool because I like the idea of using air as a weapon, or wind, if you will, as a weapon, and her being able to traverse a big, large area of a map, if you will. Her being able to fly and glide and fly around, and her augment for her 3 being able to make you just really tanky. She's also can be very tanky, and her ultimate, or her 4, being able to summon a crowd control to make enemies just stop in what they're doing and get crowd controlled. She's very awesome. I bought the Prime Access when when it first came out because I just wanted the Tiburon and the Cronin Prime, and I just really care about Zephyr. But now, actually using Zephyr, she's actually really fun to use. So Zephyr is number 10, and I prefer to use her with the Tsar a lot, just because of all the stuff you can do. So at number 9 we have Chroma. Chroma, the master of the elements, is a jack of all trades, being able to how he can change how he works depending on what element you have him. So say, for example, I have him as ice, so he's a very tanky Chroma. He's very tanky. He can absorb a lot of damage and then dish it back out. His 1 is not very useful. His 2 and 3 are the main abilities that you want to be using, and then his 4 is just a good way of, hey, if you're on a defense mission, protect this point, I'm going to run around and do something or whatever. So, and Chroma is just awesome. His Prime looks good. I have the Dynasty skin on him. He can be probably one of the best fashion frames if you want him to be. I've got the Dynasty skin on him with the Ito Prime and the Amugu Prime parts, and the Rapella Syandana. So that's what it, and he's just so cool looking at all times. So Chroma is number 9. So number 8 we have Gara. Gara is pretty cool. She can be one of the best defensive frames if you want her to be. She can do good on interceptions, defenses, mobile defenses, any kind of mission because of her 4 being able to make just a big circle just to keep enemies out. And she's not really, she can't tank a lot, but she can deal the damage to make up for not being able to tank, with her passive being able to basically blind an enemy, and then you can perform a stealth or a finisher move on that enemy. And she just is very good with what she can do, with her 1 just being a good damage burst, her 2 and 3 good crowd control things. Well, her 3 is a crowd control, her 2 is just a good way of having some kind of defense on you. So that's why Gara is number 8. Number 7 we have Equinox. Now Equinox is special to me because I took the time to actually farm Teal Rigor when I was like Mastery 4, and I took the time to farm for Equinox legit, and that was the most painstaking moment of my life. But it was worth every bit of it, because Equinox can be the ultimate support and the ultimate DPS, with her Night Form 4 being able to just heal a whole group of your whole group of friends or teammates just in the blink of an eye. And her Day Form ult being able to wipe a whole room if you want it to be able to. And her, it's just everything about her, him and her, and I'm hoping that it will be the next Prime to be released, because I'd like to see how that would work. Equinox Prime sounds pretty cool. And she's just very damaging and supportive at all, and just what I would really like in a frame. Number 6 we have Korra. Now Korra, being sorta new, I wouldn't say sorta, but she's one of the newer frames. She's very fun, especially with the case of being able to use Vanari as a Kavat, as a companion, with the Vanari being able to heal your teammates or defend a teammate or heal Korra, and also her 4 being able just to be able to be a good crowd control situation, and she can do a lot of damage. And sure, she is a pain in the butt to get, but she's well worth the farm to grab. I just prefer to use her on like sortie defense missions, because Venari can heal the target, and also Korra can deal the damage out to kill the sortie enemies. Number 5, we have Frost. Frost, I've had Frost about I don't know how many times, but I love Frost. Him being able to be the ultimate defense frame with his snow globe and his avalanche and just all of his abilities. And also I just love the fact of ice as a weapon. And he won his, I use his deluxe skin, and it makes him look pretty cool. And him being able to just defend a point very well, say, hey, this is the point, defend it with his snow globe, that's pretty crazy. And his snow globe, or not snow globe, my apologies, his avalanche abilities being a big damage, and his ult, that just big room, that big freeze wipe, just to wipe a whole room if you're willing to. So that's why I like Frost. Number 4 is Octavia. Octavia is, the ultimate support. She can give buff on top of buff on top of buff on top of buff to you. And I just love everything about her. I did the Octavia's Anthem quest, and I farmed for her parts legit. And then I bought the deluxe skin because it made it look pretty cool. But I like Octavia because, one, her 1 and 2 can be a good damage source. Her 4 can make you even more damage, than her 3 gives all those buffs. So she can just do a lot of things that is pretty crazy. And that's why Octavia is really fun to use, and she's well worth the farm. So if you're going to farm her, I'd recommend it highly. Number 3 is Nova. Nova is one of those frames that if you're a newer player, I would recommend you grab her as soon as you can. Because Nova can do a lot of things. One, take her to any mission where you're wanting to level up a weapon, and you can level up a weapon very easily because of her 4 being able to just make everything die faster. Her 1, just those null star where everything is... not really everything, my apologies, where you have basically a sort of a defense buff, and her 2, the projectile that you can fire, make it more strong when it lands, and her 3, the wormhole, so if you need to escape or something, you've got her wormhole. And I think Nova looks pretty cool, especially her prime, but I've got the deluxe skin with the prime helmet on, but I just think that everything about Nova is just awesome. So that's why Nova is number 3. Number 2 is Banshee. Now Banshee is, I just love the fact of using sound as a weapon. So her 4, just as you can see, just that big AoE. Her 2, being able to silence your weapons. Her 3 being able to just show a sonar of where all the enemies are or whatever. And her 1, just a quick sound burst. But I like I like Banshee because, one, of how she looks. She looks really cool, especially her prime variant with those like tendrils on her head. And I take her to Hydron missions a lot if I'm wanting to level up a weapon or whatnot. But she is so cool looking, and everything about her is just awesome. If you're gonna pick up Banshee as a low level, get her from the dojo. Number 1 is Mesa. Mesa is special to me because she can do a lot of damage in the matter of seconds with her 4, just that big aimbot, and her augment for her 4, just you can move around and aimbot. Her 2, that buff that makes enemies' weapons jam so you can take care of them quickly. Her 1, that buff to your weapon to make your weapon do a little bit more extra damage. Her 3, with the augment, her 3 is good because it can make enemies' weapons deflect back at them and stagger the enemy so you could take care of them faster. With Mesa's Prime just recently being released, she even looks more cool, but I have her with the deluxe skin right now because it makes her look better. I had the Grax skin, but the Grax skin made her look kind of butt ugly, so I grabbed the deluxe skin. So Mesa is just special to me because what she can do and how she can do it.